Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome guys. If you're not already subscribed, you better make sure you click that subscribe button. And if you do like this video, then guys, like it, comment, share it with your friends. Before I jump right into today's story time, I just wanted to give a little background on it. So essentially, before I got my first management position, if you watch my previous video, you'll know that I was working within the dental industry. So I started off in an admin role. I was doing that for a couple of years, and I knew that I wanted to progress. I knew that the nursing side of things wasn't really for me because I knew I just wouldn't enjoy it, to be honest. And also the salary aspect of it wasn't very motivating. So at that time, I was very money motivated. So if the money was good, then I was down. But so yeah, as I got to that point in my career, I knew that where I was, I actually really liked the place that I was working. It was quite small. I had a really great team. I got on with all my colleagues. Like, they were really cool people. So I enjoyed that aspect of my job. But I kind of knew I was there for about 1.5 years. And I was to that point where I was like, I'm as far as I'm going to get here. I want to progress. I want to do something a bit more challenging. I want to earn more. That was another thing too. So I started looking at management jobs within my field. Now I was applying for, I can't remember how long, to be honest, but definitely at least 6 months I was applying. I had about, I think I had 1 or 2 interviews before I got the position that I did. I think one of the interviews, the person that interviewed me really liked me, invited me back for a second interview, but I didn't get the position because I just didn't have management experience. They were like, you're really nice, keep in touch, I'd love to maybe connect with you sometime in the future, whatever. So that didn't work out. So now I continued looking, and I remember it was coming towards the end of 2016, 15, I can't remember, coming towards the end of a year, or whichever year it was. And that's when I had an interview for the place that I got. So I went there for the interview. I'm pretty sure I went after work one day and I was excited, like, yay, I've got another interview, this is great, I'm excited. I made sure I prepared myself for the interview. I already knew, because I don't have experience in management or direct experience, I need to really make sure that I speak well, make sure that I, show that I can do the job. So interview went really well. They really liked me. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, don't you just kind of have a good feeling that, yeah, you got the job? I had that. So what happened next? I think I had a second interview, and it was at that second interview that they told me that I got the job. So I was really excited. So now guys, come into the part of salary. So I'll give you a little bit of a background. So when I was a dental administrator, at this point I was earning like £10 an hour, which at the time I was like 20 or 21. How old was I? I think I was 21. Yeah, 20 or 21, I can't remember. You think it was so long ago, but it was just like not that long ago. But anyways, so I was earning about £10 an hour. So for me, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's my first management job, fair enough, I don't have that much experience, at least like £12.50, £13 an hour, do you know what I mean? So anyway, so this is basically the salary that I kind of had in mind. When it came to negotiating in that aspect, they pretty much said, because you don't have management experience, we want to just see that you are able to do the role. So for now, you'll pretty much stay on the salary that you were on before. We'll match that, and after your probation, we'll review it and we'll go from there. We'll increase your salary. So I'm like, yeah. Bear in mind guys, there was no indication of what it would be increased by, but me being young, excited, naive, full of excitement, I didn't really ask, like, once I passed my probation, what would it go to? I didn't ask. I just assumed that it would be a lot higher. So anyways, now I think my probation was like 3 months. So I started, yeah, I think it was 3 months, because I started the February of that year. So it was right at the beginning of the year. Excitement, yeah, new year, let's go. And then my probation was 3 months later. So March, April, May. So it was around May, maybe end of May, beginning of May. Don't remember. But yeah, anyway, so I had my probation review now. Within the 3 months that I was there, God is my witness, when I tell you guys that I put in the work, I did everything that I was asked and above that. Within that time, like, the office that I had, I cleaned it up, made it look nice, organized all the files, went through all the policies that were out of date that needed to be updated. And when I tell you guys, because if you know me personally, I'm an organized person. Like, it's in me, I can't help myself. I love order. Disorder makes me uncomfortable. So, you know, I organized everything, made sure all the policies were on point, got all my staff to read and sign, as you do. And yeah, so everything was organized. I was excited, yay. So for me, there was no doubt in my mind. I knew I passed my probation, because they would always, like, whenever I meet with the directors, they would constantly be like, oh, you did such an amazing job, or wow, like, oh, this place looks great, all of that good stuff. So obviously my mind is, yep, I can't wait for my pay rise. I was already planning all the things I was going to be spending my pay rise on. So I was really excited now. Now the great day came, probation review. So prior to that, I don't remember if I had a specific amount in my mind that I wanted, but of course I knew, listen, I'm a manager here, you know, I've worked my butt off, I should be getting a good increase. So we had the probation review. They went through everything, you know, that the typical assessment. How do you feel like you've done? I said, I believe that I've done a really great job. I've been able to do this. You know, when it comes to my work, I'm not going to be downplaying things. If I've done something well, I'm going to say, yeah, I've done this well. So that's exactly what I did. They agreed, like, yes, you've done so well. And as a result of all your hard work, we're definitely going to increase your salary. So now, guys, all the bells are going off in my mind. I'm like, yes, my pay rise. Yeah. Excitement. So now the bomb drops. And I think at that time, actually, I just started dating my husband. So we're probably, because if it was May, we're like 3 months into our relationship. And I think by the time I already knew, yeah, we getting married, like we are. So obviously my plans are, you know, getting somewhere to live, paying for my wedding. So obviously I need a substantial increase. £10 an hour ain't gonna cut it. But anyway, so yeah, you've done really well, So we're gonna increase your salary from £10 to £10.50. Now guys, when I heard that, if the room could have opened up, if the ground could have opened up and swallowed me, guys, it would have just swallowed me whole. I was really taken aback. And do you know when you're so shocked that you can't even hide your face? I was like, yeah, I did one of my faces. And then they were like, oh, so what do you think? And I was like, to be honest, there's construction work, sorry guys. They were like, oh, to be honest. So I was like, to be honest, I was expecting something a lot more substantial than that. And they were like, oh, do you know when you say something but say nothing? That's basically what happened. And I was so mad because I thought, like, you guys, yeah, I've put in the work. In these 3 months, I have organized things that has not been done properly, and you want to come and give me 50p pay rise as a manager. Like, if this was a senior admin position, that is fine, I understand that. But even knowing the fact that I could have been doing the same job somewhere else and getting a lot more, completely, I was just so mad. So in my mind, from the moment I heard that, I was like, cool. I was like, okay, that's fine. So I already started looking for another job. I thought, you know what, let me wait a little bit. I think I waited about a month or two. Then I knew I'm out, signing out. Like, I know my worth. And for me, when it comes to work, if you were ever one of my colleagues, you know I care about my work. I take it very seriously. Now, for you to think giving me a 50p pay rise as a manager, and guys, you know what really burnt? Lots of my friends, they'd be like, oh, you're a manager. Or whenever I'd meet people and I tell them what I do, they'd be thinking I'm guapping, but I'm thinking, bro, you probably earning more than me. You know, I was so disappointed. And I think for me, that experience taught me, guys, if you're ever going on interviews, especially during this time, maybe you're looking for a career change, you're looking for a new job. One thing I would say to you is negotiate. Never go into a job desperate. Even if you're desperate, never show that, because some employers will take advantage of that. Always ensure you get everything in writing. So if it's a case of you're going to be on the same salary that you're currently on for a period of time until your probation, get it in writing. I know so many people that, you know, when I first came into the company, like, oh, the previous manager promised that I would get such and such and such, and they were genuinely being honest, but it was never in writing. So always ensure, when taking a new job, when taking on any additional responsibilities, and you are told that you will get a pay rise, that is in writing. Even if it's just an email, just something official, that if management changes or people's minds change or moods change, that you've got that evidence that you were promised that pay rise. But yeah, guys, this is what they did to me, 50p pay rise. And I think the part that burned me the most was the fact that they thought they were doing me a favor, and the fact that they thought that this 50p was something significant. It wasn't even noticeable on my pay. But yeah, at that point I was like, listen, I'm out of here. I still remained committed to my job. I was doing my thing steadily, preparing myself to leave, because I knew, like, I know my worth. Imagine I've come into this position without direct experience, and I've been able to do a lot more than was previously done, and you want to come give me 50p pay rise? But yeah, guys, that was my story. Honestly, from that moment, I knew I was out. So I started looking for a new job. And it was really funny because going into my second job, these people, these managers that I had, guys, the stuff they put me through. But anyways, but to be honest, even my leaving, it wasn't just the money side of things. It was seeing just how cheap my employers were. When it came to investing in the staff, they were very resistant. It was always a case of, it's not in the budget, we can't afford it. But then I would see, because I would do the accounts for the company, and I would see where money's going. So I knew we could afford the pay rises. I knew we could afford to pay people a living wage that they can truly live on, you know, and not be struggling and in a full-time position. Doesn't make sense. So yeah, I knew that they could afford it. They just didn't want to, because obviously if you're making a huge profit and you don't really care about people like that, why are you gonna, you know, increase your profits? And one thing that I learned from that experience is that, unfortunately, for some employers, you're disposable. If you leave, they have the mentality that they can replace you, they can find someone else to do your job. And of course, there's some people I can say that are irreplaceable. It's very difficult to find employees that are truly committed, passionate about their jobs, that are willing to go above and beyond. You don't find that. These days, people just want to do their job and go home. You know, you won't find people that are so committed that they will go the extra mile unless they can gain something back. Now, when you devalue employees like that, you miss out on great assets to your company. And I think for them as well, because they knew that they could find someone that would accept that salary, they didn't care. So they were like, even as I was leaving, when I eventually left, they were like, oh, you know, thank you, done such a great job. It's a shame you're leaving. And I'm thinking, if it's such a shame, you would have offered to pay me more. Would I have accepted it? Probably not for, well, maybe for a couple of months, but I knew that those were not the kind of people I wanted to work with full time, because they were deceivers. But that's another story time. But yeah, so honestly, summary of what I learned from that situation: always get things in writing, never go off people's words, don't be going with this off the record. That even reminds me about a job once that they told me that I got the job off the record, only a few weeks later to receive that I was unsuccessful. But yes, never go with off the record. Always ensure that things are in writing, because unfortunately not everyone is people of their word and things can change. So make sure people put things in writing for you. And 3, have your standards. Don't be desperate. Don't show that. Even if you're desperate, like I said, guys, don't show it, because they can smell that desperation. And especially if the role, one thing I've learned since being in management is that quite often they'll always want to offer the lowest spectrum of things. So let's say, for example, the salary is from 30k to 40k. They're not going to want to instantly straight off the bat offer 40k. If they know you're on 30, they're going to try and offer you like a 32 or 35, something around that figure. So always ensure, whenever going into interviews, from that moment, this is what I learned. When I'm going into an interview, I have my minimum amount that I'm willing to accept for that position. And if they're not willing to meet it, I'll keep it moving. I'm not going to be desperate, because otherwise you'll tie into something that you already know is not going to be beneficial for you. And then a couple months later, you're looking for another job. It just don't make sense. So honestly, that experience taught me a lot. And another thing that was quite funny is that some of my team would be talking to me about getting a pay rise, and they'll be like, and I'll be like, oh, what do you want to earn? And they'll be telling me about £12 an hour and 12.50s. And I'm laughing inside of me, because I'm thinking, if only you knew. I'm your manager and I'm getting 10.50 and you think you're going to be getting more than me. But yeah, it was a very funny situation. But it definitely propelled me to just keep it moving. And I definitely learned a lot from that situation. So much. And it's just unfortunate that a lot of employers feel like they can just take advantage of people. I think, as I said, because for a lot of them, they think there'll always be someone that will take that salary. It's like companies that pay minimum wage. They know that there will be people that will take that salary. Therefore, they will pay it, because they'll think someone will take it. Now, if no one takes the role, what do? they then increase the salary. So guys, never be desperate. Know your worth and do not settle for any less than that. Always ensure you're investing in yourself so you're prepared for interviews when you go for them. Don't lie on your CV. Just don't do it, because the lie will catch you up and it's going to affect you negatively, and it's going to make you seem like someone that's untrustworthy. Nobody wants to trust someone that lies to them. So don't lie on your CV. Don't try be adding things that's just not true. You know, enhance what you know. Go with what you know, focus on your skills, your strengths, and use that to get you the job that you want to get. But anyways, guys, that's it for today's story time. I don't want to make this video too long. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will be back with you guys again. If there's any other things you want me to cover, I feel like I have so many story times, but I have nothing in my mind right now, then let me know. What do you want to know? But yeah, guys, I will... I'm thinking, I'm kind of torn between, should I do a podcast on it or should I do a video on it? If I don't do a video on it, it will be a podcast. But I'm thinking for the next video, it may just be on the toxic workplace, because I feel like I've worked in a lot of toxic workplaces, unfortunately. And I think it's very relevant, especially where a lot of people are now going back into work. You're interacting with people again. Just some things to protect your mental health at work. Oh, yes. So should I do a video on the toxic workplace, or should I do a video on ways to protect your mental health at work? Let me know in the comments. But I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. Stay tuned for more videos, whether it's going to be cooking with PK or just other bits and bobs in my finance 101s that I will speak about. So guys, don't be selfish. Make sure you share this video, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I will be back with you next time. Bye.